Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to paint this female figure, very dramatic. This is going to be really fun and also really simple, so no matter what level of painting you're at, what skill level, it doesn't matter. You can all follow along and paint with me today. So I'm using a 12 by 16 canvas and I've got titanium white and Mars black, both by Liquitex Basics acrylic. What I want to do first is just start working on the background, and I'm just going to go in a simple up and down brush stroke. And I'm going to be using a large filbert brush. I've got a number 50 here. You can use a flat brush as well. Just use any brush that you feel comfortable with for creating these brush strokes in this background. What I want to do is just get the canvas a little bit wet first. This will help me spread the paint a lot easier. It'll give my acrylics more of an oil paint look, just makes them look creamier and more blended. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'll take some white. We'll begin the first layer, and then we can't see it. Painting white on white. The canvas is actually a warm white, and this titanium is a cool white. This will give us a few different tones and hues in this grayscale painting. Without washing my brush off, I'm going to go right into my black, and I'm going to go up and down, starting from the side. Pick up white, brush over. We'll take a little bit of water here. This will help work the paint out of my brush a little bit better. Depending on the temperature of the room you're painting in, that will determine how quickly your acrylic paint dries. Now you can also add some slow drying media to your acrylic if you're having trouble keeping up with it. So see how we have some different tones going on? And we can add a little bit more. We can turn our brush like this as well. Take a little bit more white. Go right underneath that bar there. So we'll be drying darker than what it's showing right now. Acrylic paint always dries a little bit darker. And I want to have her dress in white or something different, because a lot of the female figures and dresses I've been painting lately are a little bit darker. So I thought it would be interesting to have more of a white dress against a darker background. And I want you guys to know that even though I'm painting this and demonstrating it in black and white, you can go ahead and add color either right now and tint your white and your black with any color that you want. You can also wait for the painting in grayscale to dry completely and then glaze over in any color that you want. Now I've got quite a few videos on adding a filter or a glaze just with, it sounds fancy, but all you're doing is painting over in a transparent color. So it's got to be transparent, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to go just across the bottom here. Clean brush, just sweeping across so it looks like she's got something there to stand on. I don't know if we're going to see Not really going to see her feet necessarily. We're going to see just the bottom of the dress. Take a little bit more black. And add a few more brush strokes in here. There's something so simple yet dramatic about creating a background like this. It can work in a lot of different styles of painting. I'm gonna come from the side here with a little bit more of the black, and I'm still just using this giant filbert brush. I mentioned before, you can use any large brush that you want. Flat brush would work well. Okay, now that it's all dry, I'm gonna start coming in with the shape of her figure and dress, and I'm gonna use a number 12 filbert brush. Go ahead and use one smaller or larger if you don't have this exact size. I want to get my brush wet first, and then I'm going to take my white, and this is a really, really simple tip and trick I'm going to show you guys right now. With a female body, think of an hourglass. I know not every female body has an hourglass figure, but this will help you to create a basic female figure. So I think we're going to have her hat and her head about there. So I'm going to start the shoulder line here, bring it down here, so depending on the style of the dress that you want her to have, then that is like if you were doing like a big Southern Belle type of dress, then you would come out, or like a ballerina dress, you would come out and start the bottom of that figure 8 or hourglass wider. But I want her to have more of a sleek, elongated look to her figure, and exaggerated, so that's why I'm approaching it like this. So I'm just going to come in here, bring her shoulders up a little bit, neckline, and then the hat. So I'm going to scoop down. I love doing these dramatic looking hats. Just going to add a little circle, half circle right here, inside this oval. I'm going to bring this in, curve, curve, sweep down, wiggle, wiggle, just to create some kind of movement and flowiness. Picking up a little bit of water on my brush just to help loosen this layer of paint. I'm going to bring the dress down a little bit lower. just come up with a little bit more here. Add a few ruffles to her shoulders. Bring her hat down a little bit lower down her, just past her shoulder and neck there. I think there's something kind of romantic and mysterious about just a figure, just seeing it from behind like this. And just by taking some paint, just that white on the end of my brush and just turning it sideways and scooping like this, I can create that flowy, droopy lace effect. And then her shoulder. Maybe some lace and beadwork coming down here. And I want to create more of a shadow here on top of her shoulders underneath her hat. So I'm going to go back into my black and white, make a darkish gray color here. And then just around her hat, and a scoop. Make like a crescent moon, okay? So it's skinnier on the end, like a crescent moon is, and it gets a little bit fuller down there. You can change the shape anytime you want just by coming in and adding a little bit more. Say if you want to bring it in just a little bit narrower. I'm going to go over her arms a little bit here. I just want to bring this in just a little bit more. And come over with white. This way, brush strokes this way. Kind of in a scoop. And then just soften the skin on her back. I'll just give her a little crisscross. And create little ruffles like this too, just by tapping in your little scoops. A little bit of water, more white. I'm just going to bring it out just slightly here. I don't want too much of a bell shape, but I need to balance out her shoulders a little bit here, so I'll play around with some pretty ruffles on her dress, and again, just simple scoops like this. So adding a little bit of water and thinning your paint can really help to get those transparent, lacy details, that sheer fabric. Adding a little bit more white here and there can make it look more 3D. Just going to catch a little bit of light here on her arm. I'm just bringing this in a little bit narrower with the gray, just to camouflage that. And then a little bit of black where her arm is kind of just tucked against her waist and her side here. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of white and black and make a soft gray. And just up here, have a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to switch over to my number 2 liner brush, and I'm going to just take a little bit of white. I'm going to add a few little dabs here, maybe some beads. I think it would be nice to have, just got that line in there. I'm just imagining a little flower. I'm going to add a little bit of black in here. And then just take a little bit more white. Yeah, maybe she's got a bouquet of some flowers that she's picked. Just do little taps like this, smaller up here, and then push and tap a little bit bigger. She's holding some delphinium, foxgloves, daisies, lavender, I don't know. these little push and pulls will give you the look of flowers. So a little bit of white on the tip, push, pull, and then a bunch of little ones there. And this will make your flower look like it's curving over. I got just a little bit of black in here and scoop. Then the white. Okay, I'm going to add some more details on the dress. Just going to take more white and go over these to make them stand out a little bit more. I think I'll use a larger brush though. I'm going to go back to my original number 12. This is really going to give us more of that layered look. Soften her back a little bit. So just make sure you always have a little bit of water in your brush. That will really help to blend that paint out. Just gonna add a little bit more here. Her not sleeves, but like the ruffles down her shoulder and partway down her arm. And a little bit of this white, a little bit more of a sense of light in here. And I'm going to make that gray color again, really soft gray. And a little bit more white. I'm just going to finish this up with a little bit of black on my liner brush. And I'm going to go around some of these buttons or beads. And don't worry about having them perfectly spaced. Have some more beadwork here, just dangling down. Add another layer of white just before I call this one done. And I'm just gonna kind of roll my brush around here. So we get a little sense of some folds and light and shadow. It's sort of almost like a satiny look. I'm gonna add a little bit of a shadow here down our spine. We're gonna be a little bit darker. You can either do that or you can take a bit of white and bring it around. The edges carefully, and that way you're leaving it darker in the center. And that'll just give you a little bit more definition of light and shadow on her back. Just taking a little bit of black here for some of the flower stems. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was sure relaxing to paint. There's something very elegant and delicate about this one that I love. I might go and just hang this up on the wall in my house right now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and that you want to paint along with me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon in another video. Bye!